Hi, I'm OmfgReallyNicki, and I haven't made a video in a really long time, and I apologize for that. This is not a like, hey, I'm back video, and I'm not going to go into the details as to why I've been away. Truthfully, I wanted to make this video because I've been wanting to get back into making videos, but also I want to make something that I feel like the world needs more positivity. And this may not be like specifically like, oh, it's all about positivity. No, but there's a lot of sources where you can get information that are not necessarily good information. Like I see a lot of YouTube people talking about how to start a business, but they literally have like a really tiny brand that's been in business for like a month and they think they know it all. And some of the advice that they give, like, because I've watched a bunch of videos just because I was like, should I make this video? Is this a necessary video? And based on what I watched and what I saw from other people, I feel like, yes, this is definitely something that is much needed. And I think there's a lot of gaps that I can at least fill in for people. Because a lot of people think it's so easy to just start a business. You just, pick your name and that's it. There's so much work that goes into owning a business. And I've came up with 14 things from like start to finish to get to where you are starting to where you are launching your business. I'm not going to go into great detail of each thing. I'm just going to go down the list and give you the things that you need to do. And then what I will do is I'll try to make a video every week and I'll just go down the list of these things and I'll make a video on specifically how to do this thing, because it can be really daunting when you're like, oh my gosh, I have all these things I need to do. I'm never going to be able to do it, or it's too expensive. So hopefully this will kind of break it down and give you a series that you can watch that's going to tell you what you need to know. And so you'll see. The first one is figure out what business or industry you want to be in. And I have a list, that's why I'm like looking. But figure out what you're passionate about. If you don't care about lashes, don't sell lashes. Everything that I sell, because that's where we are, we're in my inventory room. Everything that I sell are things that I love and I use. I don't have a lot of makeup on today because my skin is very, you can't see it right now, but if I were to put like foundation on, it'd look really cakey because my skin is like super dry, and it's because of a hormone disorder. So there's I have to just go with it. So even though I'm very passionate about the things that I sell, that's one thing that I never do. If I don't care about something, I'm not going to sell it. Unless I'm I don't know, because it can't just be all about money. You have to pick something that you want to do. So it's like this, and this information will apply to literally any industry. Whether it's you want to sell like clothes, or you want to sell lashes, you want to have like a makeup brand, you want to sell like fit tea, whatever anything you want to do, this will apply to that. So that's the thing. Figure out what you're passionate about. What is it that you love or that you're into? Because if you're passionate about it, it's not going to feel so much like work because you're going to enjoy what you're doing. And I feel like that's important, because if you just start a business because you want to make money, people are going to see that. That's going to reflect in the content that you're posting. That's going to reflect in literally every aspect of your business. People are just going to tell that you're just out to make money, that you don't really care about this business. So, number 2, figure out your business model. And that's like, are you going to be online? Are you going to sell in person? Are you going to, those two things, it may seem really basic, but I recommend always selling online, because then you open up your customer base to not just the people around you. If you plan on having a store and stuff, it's still good to have a website and take orders, because people are online more. People are shopping online and people are checking things out more. And that's, for most of us, that's where we get our business, is online. So figure out if you plan on having an in-person business, or you plan on only being online, or both, and kind of figure out what that looks like to you. The third thing is, so depending on what business you're in, do you want to make the product or have the product made for yourself? So I know a lot of people have lip gloss businesses, and some people buy wholesale and then they package it themselves. Some people buy a finished product and then put their logo on it, which is private labeling. And then sometimes people make it themselves. And so if you're somebody who wants to make your own product, you need to do the research. You really need to look into that and figure out, is this what I really want to do? You have to figure out whether you want to make something or not. And when you make a product, it is very time consuming. To make our highlighters, there's a lot of steps that go into it, and to make them the way that they are. And we don't mass produce them. We make them in pretty small batches of less than, I think it's 10 or less each time. Unless it's a multicolor, then it's a little more. But so it really depends on what kind of space you have to work with. Look at how much time you have. The next step, number 4, is figure out what items you want. So like once you've already figured out your industry, like let's say you're going to do cosmetics. Okay, so you're starting a cosmetic business and you need to figure out what items you want to start with. And I recommend doing a minimum of 2 products, a maximum of 4. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot of things, but you don't want to come in with like 20 items and you don't really know the market. You haven't really tested it out yet. Pick some really good key pieces and have just a handful of things, because like I said, people get overwhelmed, and if there's too many things, they'll actually not purchase because they're like, oh, there's too much stuff to choose from, and they can't decide, and they know they can't afford it all, so they just won't buy anything. So you want to make it where there's not too much stuff, there's a little bit of a variety, but it's only these handful of things. So pick your products and make sure that you're not overdoing it, because I have so much because I've been in business for 4 years and I've gradually built on what I'm doing. But when you start out, you really don't want to have too much. Okay, the next one is number 5, and it's find reliable vendors. Because the thing is, you have to think about, you need packaging, you need things for like shipping things out, you're gonna need so many things. So find reliable vendors, or you can buy like if you know somebody, like depending on what the product is and you need a vendor for something, you can purchase them from another business and they'll be a lot more effective than if you buy one of these lists. I've done that before, honestly. I just bought a vendors list to see, and most of them, the sites that were on the list were not in business anymore. They were inaccessible, so it was just garbage. And the thing is, I didn't need any vendors. I wasn't planning on using them, but for how much I paid and what I got, it was like, wow, that's ridiculous. So if you want a vendor, like let's say you want lashes and you know me, you trust me, you're like, hey, I want to buy the source of your lashes so I can get mine custom made and start my own lash business. I'm willing to sell some of my vendors depending on what it is. But these are vendors that I've worked with consistently, that I have vetted, that I know that they are good. And the reason why I won't give them away for free is because in order to get a good vendor, you've probably wasted a lot of money on crappy vendors to finally find the one that's good. And that, like, I've done that a lot. I've never purchased any of the vendors I've actually used. I've just had to find them on my own and basically make a purchase and see, is it good, is it not? Some things have been good, some things have been not so great. Like I have a couple products that I haven't decided if I'm even going to release because it was just a bad vendor. Like there's nothing wrong with the product itself, but it's not what I wanted. Like the customization just wasn't how I had requested it, and then they're just like, well, too bad. That would be definitely a bad vendor. I would never recommend that vendor to another person. So finding good vendors, and truthfully, if you see these scams, like I call it scams because the lists, anyone that I've heard from, they're like, yeah, this was like useless. Like, what is this? So I wouldn't recommend buying a huge list. You're better off buying individual vendors for a specific product. It's probably going to cost a little more, but the reality is it's going to be worth your money. And that's part of the business thing. Like just, weighing, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? What is it worth my time? Do I have the money to like try all these places, or do I need to pay for this? So that's a very important thing, because without vendors you wouldn't have anything, because on some level you're going to have a vendor for something. Number 6 is start budgeting and figure out everything that you need, which is like your packaging for your product. If your product is a finished product and it's going to arrive, then you figure out how much that's going to cost. You're going to already have to know your vendors so that you can get the cost of these things and get an estimate. You're going to need shipping supplies. You need a scale. You need like stuff like this, like a tape gun. You could get like bubble wrap or sheets of tissue paper, whatever it is. But like all of those things, and including like your registering your website, your business name, and all these things, you're going to need to like figure out how much that's going to cost you. And then step 7 is just save up for that amount. So once you figure out exactly all the stuff that you need to start saving up for it if you don't have a chunk of money available, which most of us really don't. I know when I started from like, it was probably like $250 when I started, like everything. Number 8, come up with a name and a simple logo. A lot of people will use these things. I'm trying to see if I have anything like it over here. I don't think I do. A lot of people will choose something that's like a multicolored thing and say that it's their logo. Anything that's more than one color is going to be your mascot. a logo is clean and simple. Like here's my logo right here. Oops, let me turn it correctly. It's just really basic, but if you see it, you're gonna recognize it. It's easy to read. But my point is you recognize the logo. You see that it's there. Or like, let's see, I have like a highlighter here. You can kind of see the logo with the lights reflecting on it. But the logo is easy to read. And the other thing is when you're printing it on stuff, you'll never see my logo printed in multicolors. Because, like, on a t-shirt, yes. But, like, any of my products, like, over here, they're always it's just the logo. Because it looks cleaner. It looks nicer. It just makes your product kind of pop. Because if you have a multicolored thing just slapped onto something, it looks busy and it doesn't look professional. That could just be my personal opinion, but I see a lot of businesses using mascots as their logo, and it doesn't look good. Because I have mascots for my logo where it's like little things like I have like a hot air balloon and what else? Well, we have like the ice cream truck. Just little cute things that I've had done because I like them and like I want to use them for my business, but those are not my logo. But you also want it to be very simple. Like I know my logo is not, it's basic. It's very basic. It's very simple. It's a heart with some letters and but it gets the point across. And I feel like it looks professionally. Let's see. Number 9 is find out what you need to run your business legally. So making your business legal. Find out what it is in your state, what you need to do. And like in California, if you want to have an LLC, you have to pay, I think it was like $150 just to register it. And then you have to pay $800 a year, even if you don't make any money. And I didn't know that at the time. And I kind of regretted getting an LLC because I didn't even make that much in a year. Like I had to pay out of pocket to have an LLC. That was insane to me. Most states don't charge that much. I think California is the most expensive. But you need to find out, if you're going to register an LLC or you're just going to be a sole proprietor, whatever it is, you're going to need to register the name. Even if it's like a DBA, which is you're doing business as document, whatever it is, you want to make it legal, get your seller's permit, all of that. And it's really hard for me to give you information on that other than California because it's different from state to state. Okay, number 10 is create a website. Excuse me. You want to create a website, even whether you're going to sell online or not, you should always have a website, but definitely make it not too fancy. You don't want anything that's going to start playing music or anything obnoxious. Just keep it clean and simple so that people can just see the products and just, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, you just want a basic presentation where you go to the website, you see what you want, click it, add it to cart, and get out. Like, because most people aren't trying to hang out on your website. They're there for a reason, and then they're done. So you definitely want a website. And I use GoDaddy to register my domains. I think it's a little more expensive than some places. But if you make your website, because there's a lot of free places, like, I think you can get, like, I don't know. I think Wix is free, but like you have to buy the domain. I've never used them, so I'm not 100% sure. But there's ways to do it where your website's not going to cost you a lot. But your domain is usually going to cost you about $17, $18 a year. That's just the way that it is. Sometimes you can find a coupon, though. Always search for coupons for like a website. It's for stuff like that, because you never know. Number 11 is register your social medias. You really want to make sure you're on every single platform. Like TikTok is really big right now. I'm not good at the TikTok stuff, but I still post them. I still make videos. I still try because if it's going to help my business, then I want to do it. So you want to register, all of your stuff. Like, because I have OMFG Cosmetics on TikTok. I have it on Facebook. I've got it on Twitter. Although I think it's spelled differently because somebody else had it on Twitter. But like Instagram, everything, like anything that's popular, even LinkedIn, all of those things, be registering your social stuff. And you can even start like promoting if you have any pictures or like ideas of stuff. I mean, you want to make it relevant to your business, but you can start posting once you have it set up. Okay, number 12, taking quality pictures and videos, whether it's for your Instagram or for your website. You want to make sure you're taking good pictures. I'm going to post a video, like I'll do a separate video on how to take better pictures and get like a white background, and the things that I use. But I'm not going to go into that right now, but you want to make sure you're taking good pictures. Like if your phone sucks, you may want to upgrade your phone, or maybe buy a separate camera that will take good pictures for you, because presentation is everything. Because nobody's going to, like, if they see like a dimly lit picture of like some lip gloss, it might look gross in that lighting. Like it might not look that good. So you want to make sure that you've got good lighting, you're taking clear pictures, and it's representing what you want your business to be. All right, number 13 is promote for your launch. Once you know what your products are and you're like able to take pictures and stuff, start promoting those, start taking pictures of those, even if it's not quite the launch date. You kind of want to create some hype before you officially launch anyway. And also pick a few PR people. You don't have to pick a ton, but these are things you send out for free in exchange for people will post pictures and YouTube and, you know, whatever. So you want to kind of get a mix of a few people that will do a YouTube, a few people that are on like other social media platforms, so that you're kind of like hitting up any social media platform before you start, so that way you can start well. And the last one, number 14, is just launch your business. Just get into all of these things done so that you can get to the point of launching your business. It could be fast, it could be slow. I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. It's just a matter of making all of these things happen so you can get to that launch date. Anyways, I hope this was a helpful video, and I'm sorry, I'm like not the best at making YouTube videos. I don't know. I just, maybe it's just me, but it's hot in here too. But I hope this was at least helpful and gives you some insight as to what you need to do if you want to start any kind of business.